Okay, hello. Here we are, picking up where I left off so abruptly last episode. I think I was trying to fill this full of ammo, which is now done. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back. I think I may have been intending to drive this over to where the miner is currently parked, hidden in the magnesium mine, which is effectively surrounded by assert bases. And I've had a thought about that. So what I'm thinking is that I'm gonna park this here. The AI is on. All right, so we're good. So what I'm thinking is this. Okay, first thing, this I noticed this the other day. This is damaged, so let me finish. Fix this. Where's the welder? Oh. All right, but first, greenhouse. This is I have no idea. Oh, the other truck is parked down there. Okay, yeah, production facility. Okay. I need a welder. I had a tier 3 one, but that has been lost. Pity. Alright. How much King ammo? This is what? MR-20E, I think. This is called 30. 10 better. Oh, we're still looking at this one. Oh, I have 20 more magazines. Okay. And each one has 30 shots. Okay. I guess I'll keep using this. I don't think I can actually manufacture these rifles or the ammo for it. Which is why I've been using the automatic. Also because the automatic rifles and ammo, they come with the robot raider pods. Oh, that just required. No, that's the wrong one. Here we go. Oh, I can make these. I can make the ammo. Okay. Platinum. Yeah, I need platinum. Okay. Okay, I didn't know I could make ammo for these guys. That's awesome. Let's go and schedule some for production. What is it? Let's see. Here we go. I'm crafting. And this one. Nope. Oh, I think it's called. What's this thing called? What is this rifle called? Full auto pistol, elite pistol. Is it? I don't know. Is it? Automatic rifle gun. Item. Ultimate. That's what it is. Okay. Let's change this to that. There's no sense in adding a 1 there. Welder item 4. Interesting. Welder. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa. Oh, I guess there's literally a 4. Okay. Let's see if it's as easy as this. I don't want any of these. I want 4 of those. Yep. Oh, well, that's okay. And for production, making these requires platinum, which I'm pretty sure I have an amount of platinum that would generally be considered 0. All right. Well, to be fair, it's more than I thought. Okay. So yeah, I don't have enough. Don't have enough. Do I have thruster components? Nope. Oh, there goes my cat. I'm recording, so the cat decides that's the best time to run amok. I don't know why. Hey, what are you up to? Hey, come here, sweetie. Come here. This is why I always do this every single time. Come here. Nothing in this house has changed in the last 10 minutes. Except suddenly you want to get in this. Oh, really? Here you go, sweetie. Ah, okay. Right on. So, whatever. I have a rifle. I've got ammo, and I've got some extra ammo, and I can make more. So, I'm good to go. If I lose it, I'll just go back to the automatic rifles. So, one thing of note. Oh, good grief! Distraction upon distraction. Where is? There it is. Let's get this repaired. Tools. What? Wait. Oh, I just didn't have one. Oh, okay. Come on now. Oh, we're missing steel. Of course we're missing steel. Let's get some steel. Oh, that was it. Just one. Ah, bulletproof glass. Oh my god. Who shoots a greenhouse? Really now? go. Oh, yeah. They're weird. Okay. Oh, so what was I going to do? Right. So I've decided I am going to leave the miner where it is, parked safely inside the magnesium mine. I currently have about 500, 499.1, 500, roughly 500 magnesium. Let's see how much. Yeah, there goes my kitty cat. What? What's the matter? Come here. What's wrong? I wonder if, since normally we spend a lot of time home alone together, and I don't normally talk, so I'm wondering if, because I'm suddenly talking so much, she's maybe it's confusing her. Maybe she thinks I'm talking to her. I don't know. So anyway, what are they doing? Production, warhead, small grid. Oh, I didn't mean to build one. Oops. All right, 1.3 magnesium powder. All right, if that was 2, then I've got enough magnesium to make 250. 250 warheads. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to go ahead and build another attack craft. I have a different model that I'm going to try this time. One that will let me attack from a greater range. Because the original one was, the problem was I had assault cannon on the bottom, which I had intended to use to snipe the bases. And then it had subgrid rotor turrets for defense with autocannon in them, which I thought worked pretty well. The two assault cannon, they seemed like they just weren't enough. I guess it didn't help that I was overwhelmed by drones. Before I realized I was getting overwhelmed by drones. So I think what I'll do this time is make. I'm going to build an attack craft that's actually like a small cruise missile carrier. I hate the word carrier because that evokes a vision of like aircraft carriers or gigantic ships with tons of weapons. But this will be large grid, but it's not going to be really that much bigger than the original attack craft that I built. So it's roughly the same size, maybe a tiny bit bigger. And it'll have a couple cruise missile launchers on the back, and I'm going to use those. And my thinking is I'll use those to take out the base communications, because that's how they coordinate with each other to summon drones. Once those are disabled, then I can just adjust the targeting priority to weapons for the cruise missiles, and hopefully be a bit more surgical about dealing with these things, especially since there are several bases kind of close enough to each other that they can provide like support in the form of summoning drones. So I need something that lets me stand off a bit further and take things out. So that is what I plan to do. whoops, the mining vessel that I have over there it should be safe. It is deep in a hole. And there's only a very narrow angle within which it might be able to be targeted. And then from a practical perspective, it's a game, and the game's not going to summon bad guys where the player isn't. So I really don't have to worry about it anyways. But in universe, just turn that. Oh, well, I'm out of binoculars too. Binoculars. There we go. Are you making a new stat? No blueprint. Oh, it doesn't know how. Okay, that's fine. I'll just manually build these things. Combat mod. Let's see, we'll do 6. That'll bring us up to 10. And then for tools, pair of those. And we'll call that good. Nades. That's cool. It's not all in the same spot. This is components. Actually, that's not where it goes. Wait, where's it? Where ammo goes? No, that's where ammo goes. This way. Hey! Stop it! I see you. I still see you. What you doing? Are you being cute? You got caught, now you're being cute. Come here. Here. Come here, sweetie. Hey. Go get that. Oh. Cat plays fetch. I love that. Alright. I want to consolidate this stuff. That's all with the I don't remember what this cargo container is called right down here. Let's do it like this. There we go. There. All right. So this, that, there. That looks, yeah. I don't know. Maybe IIM would have moved this eventually. I think I do have it set for performance operations, so it's probably got a slower update or a slow update or whatever. So I might just be impatient. It might just be the case that I'm being impatient. So, oh, ammo does go over here. Okay. Let's do it. There. Oops, that's not correct. Assemblers, and zero weapons. Go. And there are a few things scattered around. How do you have... approximately 403 items. 1x. That doesn't make sense. Used for building 254 blocks. Used for building 249 blocks. I only just noticed that line a couple days ago, and it was in, I don't even know where I noticed it, but I think I was looking at someone else's video and I thought, oh, that is really useful. Okay, all the ice. Used to have literal tons of ice. Alright. Elements. 351. What's that? Okay. Fine. Anyway, I need a projector. A large grid projector. I need a mag plate. Large grid mag plate. I need a wind turbine. I need a control. And I need a little bit of steel. Oops. Let's see, some steel. Oh. Oh. Oh man, double brain. Short circuit there. Let's try this again. I don't know. I want to say I don't know what I was thinking. I know exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking that was not my inventory. That was the cargo container I was looking at, which is why I put it all back. I need a control panel. I need a wind turbine. Okay, here. Yeah, that's me. Give me the things. Steel. Now I want 100 steel, 100 interior, 100 construction, and 3. Here we go. About 50 inverters. That should be enough to start to lay the scaffold for any block I want. Let's get back up here. Now, this grid is about the same size as the other one. I've not actually directly compared them, but just in building and testing it, they seem to be about the same size. So alright, let's try it. Let's see, here. We've done it. So I'm going to put this way over here. The diagonal will be the longest distance, so do that. Alright. Let's see. There's the projector. Why can I not build this projector? Oh, I think I put this down upside down. Oops. Yeah, I gotta put it like this. Okay. Let's get this. 5 degrees. Don't want it sitting on that light. Oop. There we go. 6. All right. Then oh, there you go. Oh, of course it's not going to work. Yeah. All right, whatever. There. There. And wind turbine. Oh, I don't remember where those are. There we go. All right. And awesome. So here we go. Projector, blueprints. Use. Keep projection. And it is needs to come around 9 degrees to the right. Oh, let's roll, of course. There we go. That is correct. Forward. Out. Cool. All right, let's have a look. This is it. Yeah, it's about the same size. Yep. All right, so I can bring it forward a little bit. There's some room. And bring it to the left. Okay. Cool. Horizontal. Let's do that. Forward. Vertical. Just like that. So, I should be able to build everything. And yes, I went with the vector thrust again, because despite the drawbacks and the risks, I like the benefits, which is I need 1/4 of the required number of thrusters generally, since you know these can serve as up, down, forward, and backwards thrusters. Although this has lots of downward thrusters anyways, because it's very heavy. And they're just cooler. They're just cool. I think it's always, I don't know the right word. I can say bothered because it's a gameism. It's part of the game to have thrusters pointing in every direction. But I've never really quite liked that. Like, I'm sorry, it's a gameism in this game, right? That's how you build things, right? They fly, they have a thruster in every direction. And I've always thought that was kind of cheesy, like just ugh. But it's the way the game is, right? So having the option to use a vector thrust system at least eliminates some of that, and yeah, so that appeals to me. And I also think aesthetically, it's more interesting. I like things that move. I like having like I have most of the mods that animate things loaded. Like you'll notice cockpits, for example, have animated cockpits. So when you get in, the cockpit goes down. Jump drives, animated antenna. I don't know if there's an antenna on this or not. The antenna, like small grid antenna, they look like a little radar dish, and they spin around. I think those sorts of little things really add to the atmosphere, to the world. They make it feel alive, you know. So just having just one more thing that kind of moves and reacts to the world, like vector thrusters, uh, it just it just makes the world feel more interesting, more, I want to say more real. But you know, if you go outside, there's not much really that's like, there's not much machinery that's moving. There's, you know, like if I walk outside where I live right now and I look around, I'm surrounded by buildings. There's nothing moving, you know. The movement comes from like if there's a tree blowing in the wind, or when there's a flagpole with a flag on it, and cables running down it. So in that sense, this is a bit artificial, right? There isn't all sorts of stuff moving and spinning and beeping and all that all around. Um, but reality makes up for it in different ways, you know. So in the game, this is what I like. It makes it feel, it just makes it feel like there's something going on, you know. If not, for example, if not for all these wind turbines just staring here, it could just be a static picture and you wouldn't even know, you know. And that's actually fairly realistic, but I don't like it, right? It's boring. It's dull. I'm like, I'm playing a video game. It should be, I want it to be interesting. I want it to capture my attention. So yeah, anyway, this is a ranty McNanty again. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get started on this. Looks like it's positioned correctly. I will be able to build everything. Yes. Okay. So let's start. Oh, excuse me. I think I will build up over here. Yeah. All right. How do I want to do this? Now, I believe I built the first attack craft in layers by laying the scaffold by hand. Yeah, I think that's what I did. I was trying to remember if I used a welding craft or not. I don't think I did. I think the problem is I don't have a welding craft that that I really feels like it makes the job work better. I have Big Weld, which is all right, but I feel like for most welding craft I've ever built, for every thing or way they make the job of building something easier, they come with an equal number of like pains in the ass, right? Um, yes, it's easier to weld more blocks at once, but um, they're slow and sluggish, and I can't move them around, or it's a they're they're built. It's awkward to get them back to dock and load material up or whatever. And these are all these aren't. This isn't a game thing. This isn't a a statement on all welders. This is just every welder I've ever tried to build has had just as many flaws as it's had utility, which is frustrating. And I find whenever I'm using one of my welder ships, I'm like, man, I should just do it by hand. And then, of course, whenever I'm doing it by hand, I think the exact opposite. So I don't. I I need better welder ships. I don't know. I've got the formula down for how to build things, some things, but welder ships is not one of them. You know, I think there's an interesting, like, there are things you need to keep in mind for depending on the type of thing you're building, um, and it's different for every thing. Um, and um, So for example, oh, if I'm building a fighter ship, then I probably want to have, like, I may have an idea for how many gyros it needs. I know it needs a lot of gyros, or a lot of thrust in two directions at least, and I need the guns kind of clustered together, and then a camera adjacent to it, so I can snipe or have more accurate, fire, whatever. These things are not absolute. It's different per person, and all that, right? That's not the point. I'm not trying to say like there's a set of fixed truisms or axioms that everyone needs. I'm just saying, like, for each person, for whatever they're building, for the types of things they're building, um, they will have their own. People will have their own, like, axioms of, like, that this is what it needs. Like, I need this ratio of batteries to atmospheric thrusters, or I need this many O2 generators to hydrogen tanks, or to whatever. So that's what I'm saying, right? There are things like that where you sort of know, like, okay, and if I make sure I follow these guidelines that I have for myself, then I'll have something that is serviceable to a degree that I'm happy with, right? And some will be better, some will be worse as you experiment and all that. That's just the nature of the game. Um, but what I have found, or not, but so that is just the way it is. That's the nature of reality, right? Um, for me, I have not yet figured out my appropriate axioms for building welder ships that produce a result that is at least satisfactorily serviceable. And so, yeah, so hence my problem. Because these things are not like, you figure them out over time, right? People might be able to tell you, like, oh, always have one large battery per 5 atmospheric thrusters, or something like that. Like, people can give you guidelines, but as you build, and you might not know any better, like, as a new player, or whatever, or yeah, like, as a new player, or it's like, I've never really built giant warships. So if I was going to build a giant warship, I would have nothing to go on except what I've heard, what I've seen, you know, what people tell me. Uh, but I wouldn't have my own yet, my own, like, kind of guides of, like, oh, I should have this much cargo capacity for ammo, or I should put space between my ammo storage and my weapons, or my reactors, or whatever. So you gotta, you figure them out. You hear what other people say, and then you can, either, you agree or disagree, or, some people might say, like, oh, you should always have a mixture of ion and hydrogen thrusters, and you might start that way, and then eventually go, you know what, yeah, I don't like this, or it doesn't work for me, or whatever, and that's fine. Um, so that's what I mean by, like, figuring out, your kind of your own axioms for how do I build the thing, so that it gives me the properties that I want. Uh, for example, mining craft. To build a mining craft, I know, like, I need sorters and lots of ejectors, right? Because I have a sense, I've acquired a sense of how much stone you can take in with drills. Like, I was watching a video the other day of a guy who built a miner, and he's like, it had I think 4 drills on it. He's like, yeah, okay, so I need some ejectors to get rid of stone, and he put two of the small, what used to be ejectors, and now they're the small connectors, right? He put two of those on there, you know, and it was pitifully inadequate to dispense with the amount of stone that he was collecting as he was trying to mine his other ore. And as soon as you started building it, I knew immediately. I was like, "That's not enough, buddy." You know. Um, but he never used them before. And truth be told, the first time I used ejectors, I did the exact same thing. I put two on, and the miner had, I don't know, it was either 2 or 4, possibly 5 drills. It was way not enough. So I know when I'm building a miner, like, yeah, based on the number of drills, I probably want. you know, anywhere between 4 and 6 small ejectors, you know, per drill. Um, and that gives me kind of the performance that I like. It doesn't always guarantee that there's no weight to clear out stone, but the weight's usually only a second or two, and I'm fine with that. So that's you know that's kind of my axiom. So I don't again going back to uh my original point was I don't have a set of things like that for weldercraft, which means that every weldercraft I've ever built has had far more flaws than um, I don't want to say makes it worth it. They've had so many flaws that I have found it just as frustrating to use those as oh well yeah as not using it, just welding by hand. Um, which sucks because I don't really like welding by hand. Okay, I need more steel. We have steel. Oh, my kitty finally settled down and went to curled up and take a nap. All right. And I started looking at video editors um, because I don't really know which I would rather do. If I would like, you know, when you stream, you've got these multi-hour episodes usually, you know, or you can record or stream whatever. You can take that whether you streamed it or not, and then edit it down to um, basically like the kind of three parts of anything you do, which is the decision where you realize you need to like to do something, or the identification of a problem. I need to do a thing. The decision of how you're going to address it. I'm going to do the thing by building whatever, and then the action. I'm building the thing, and then the completion. Hey, look, the thing is done building. And usually the action part takes a long time, right? Like uh, aside from the fact that I'm monologuing, really right now is probably not the most interesting viewing. Like, oh look, he's hand building a ship. Okay, so narratively, it's probably sufficient to see that I place the first couple of blocks and then skip to the end and say, all right, and now it's done, which would shorten the video a fair amount. And I've watched YouTubers that do both, and streamers that do both, or YouTubers that do both. And you know, honestly, sometimes I like one and sometimes I like the other. It kind of depends. So I don't really know where I fall on what I prefer to do. Um, over the one someone suggested to me a long time ago when I first started, when I floated the idea among my friends. I was like, I think I'm gonna try this streaming thing. And someone had made the suggestion of like, you know, you should after you know you should cut out the pieces where you're, you know, like I gotta weld up a wall of bricks or something, and just do the like what I said before, the identify, decide, and then the result. And having worked in the industry of video production at one point, I know that if you shoot X hours of footage, then if you're just going to post the footage as is, just raw, then you're done, right? But if you need to edit it, generally it takes 2 to 3 times the amount of time as the footage itself to edit it, because you're literally going to rewatch it and then identify the parts where you've got to cut out, and then you've got to cut that out, and you've got to rewatch it again to make sure you cut out the right part. So depending on how good you are, it only takes about 2 to 3 times. If you film for an hour, if you have an hour of footage, it's 2 to 3 hours of time to edit. Um, there may be professionals or people who are much better than that. Uh, I don't know, but in my personal experience, that's about what it took. Um, and that was what I said to my friend. I was like, well, if I record for 4 hours, that means I'm spending another 8 to 12 hours editing. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't have that much time. Um, so the appeal there for me is the time saving. Like when I shut the stream down, I'm done. You know, I edit the description and I'm good. I think this is good. But but trying to keep an open mind. I have been poking around, looking at different uh, solutions for video editing that are available for free, and I did find one. I was poking around for a little bit this past week, and works all right. I would not say it's great, um, but it's better than what I was using. Um, Again, not that I really do editing on this stuff, but for other stuff, every now and then I'll do like a little 2 or 3 minute video or something, do some editing, personal stuff. Is better, but yeah, I don't know. I'll keep playing with it and see if I get more comfortable with it. Oh, I missed here. And then once I get more comfortable with it, we'll see. Maybe maybe I'll change my tune a little bit. Um, I don't know. I remember part of the appeal of editing the footage is it's the the final result is it's really cool. It's really satisfying to see a nicely told story. My first experience with seeing how differently editing can make things appear is I was a kid and I had some racing game on my computer, and I did not have a very good computer. I did not have the discretionary income to afford, you know, a good computer with good graphics card and all that. So, you know, my friends had good stuff, and I was always, I kind of had a potato, um, which was fine for like school and all that, which was usually the justification of why do you need a computer. Um, but it was not terribly good for games, for not games where uh, like reaction speed or timing matters. You know, for like puzzle games or it's like point and click adventures or stuff like that, fine. But anyway, for racing games, it's not really well suited. But anyway, I had this racing game someone had given me, and it was kind of cool because you could design your own tracks, and it had like different uh, pieces, kind of like Lego. You know, like curves and straights and ramps and banked curves and whatnot. And I used to really enjoy designing these really elaborate tracks. And I was not terribly good at the game because my computer was so slow that you can't get an intuitive sense of the physics when the game is running so slow. Like if you are, you know, if I'm driving this truck around, so if I'm driving, right, and I start to turn, I can sort of tell. See how it's sort of swaying, right? It's getting up on the edge there. I can recover from that because I can sort of the response is kind of is like real time to my input, right? The computer I had was so slow that I wouldn't get that. So if the vehicle was starting to lose control, um, it actually took a lot longer to realize it was starting to skid. It took a lot longer to realize it was starting to skid. Um, because it was going like frame by frame by frame. Like I don't know, the FPS was like 6 or something. Anyway, I had this really cool track and playing with it, and there was one cool aspect of the game, which is that when you play, uh, I guess it automatically recorded your input because there was like a replay version, right? So if you played, raced your track and you crashed or whatever, you could rewatch it. Well, because of the way the replay was implemented, you could anytime during the replay resume playing, you know? So like you could watch the replay up until say a second before you drove off the track, and then you could say, okay, I want to restart playing right here. And like it would load in, be like like the whole game state, boom, would come in right like there. And you just boom, you're going now there. At whatever speed. And if you know like, oh, I oversteered, so let me not do that this time or whatever. So you could fix it, right? The everything that happened after that, of course, was gone because you're now playing the game again. But it was a really cool feature, and I used that one afternoon to create the perfect lap on this super crazy track I had made, and it probably took, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours or so, and I'd race and get be going as fast as possible, hit the turn, and you know fly off the edge because they were banked or whatever. So I go, okay, watch the replay right up until I started the turn, and then say, okay, start, continue from here, and then turn tighter or whatever. And it took about 3 or 4 hours, and when I finished, I had what looked like um, this flawless lap around the track. And you could save it, and I showed it, when my friends came over the next day or whatever. I was like, hey, check this out. And I showed it to him. And he's like, wow, that is amazing, right? And of course, I told him, I was like, oh, yeah, it's not real. But it was so eye-opening to watch, like, after, like, when I finally finished, because it's kind of incremental. Like, I did a whole, I raced it, would crash, and then I would watch up to that point and then start, race a little more and crash, and then I would, go back to here and then race a little more and crash and go here. So kind of progressive. And then at the end of that time, when I watched the whole thing, just watching this flawless, I was like, that is so not what happened. It's so different. It just told such a 180-degree different story. It was fascinating. Um, and I love that. It's really cool. And that appeals to me, like to be able to say like, oh, I've identified this problem. Here are my options. I'm going to choose this option. Here I am. I'm beginning. And it's good to, okay, now I've finished and here we go. And the pacing can be a bit faster. Of course, it doesn't help when I'm just sitting here talking, not doing anything. But can I just fix this pieces? Yeah. The pacing can be a bit faster and a bit more interesting, but it does make for a shorter video. And I guess it does kind of come down to what you prefer, short versus long. Um, yeah. And there are times when I like both, or I like either, however you want to phrase it. I don't even have. Like when I'm working, I like to put on, a video. Splitsy's great for it. Um, these days, most of these videos are pretty consistently around an hour long, but in some of his earlier series, uh, like an episode could be 3 or 4 hours long, Um, and I remember I used to work at this place, and I would just put one of those on, kind of like on my phone, off to the side, and it was great. Kind of kept me entertained, while I was doing the thing that I needed to do. And these days, I don't really work the same way. I tend to watch the videos um, more like between work, or like if I do programming work, so if I have to pause while something's loading or compiling or whatever, I might have a 3-minute break. If I pause for lunch, I have an hour break. Uh, so at that rate, a 4-hour video could take me a week to get through. So now, like an hour video, takes me about a day to get through, and yeah, I'm okay with that. But I like kind of both uh, ways. So I'm not really sure even if I do get this whole editing software, I get more comfortable with it and all that. I'm not really sure if I'll change the format or not. Yeah, because I also, this is called an irregular series, and that is because I never really know if I'm going to get to record on a given week or for how long. In some cases, the episode ends very abruptly because that's what it does, and I never know when that's going to happen, which is again why I call it irregular. So for the very same reason I call it irregular, I don't know if I'm going to have the time to turn around and edit a 4-hour video without it taking me all freaking week. And that can start to feel a lot like a job. And I don't want this to start to feel like a job. Because I am concerned that if it starts to feel like a job, I feel like the probability of me stopping or quitting will increase dramatically because I have a job. I don't want another job. Anyway, this was always just for fun. I have no delusions about this will ever go anywhere. I need more steel. Do I have steel in here? I think I took all the steel from here. Of course, the nice thing about editing is I can simply shut up, focus on building, not say a word for an hour or two, however long it takes to build this thing. And since I'm going to cut it all out, or time lapse it, I suppose. I don't know if the software I'm using, I've been looking at, can do time lapse. I haven't seen that feature, but it does seem fairly complete. So it's probably in there. But regardless, when you're editing, you have the option of, I don't want to say I don't need to talk because I don't need to talk anyway, but don't have to worry about it at all, because you're just going to cut it all out anyway. For time lapse, it will be no audio. Okay. Do I want to finish these pieces? I think so. Oh my goodness. Scrap. There. It's complete. 2. Oh, right, 8. I really like this plastic armor. It's really good. It looks really good. Really nice design. clean lines. Love it. Most of the armor skins in the game, I don't like. They're, yeah, enough said, I guess. I don't like most of them. Get more pieces. Let's get. What do we have? 2 engines and a light. Oh, alright, well, 2 engines and light. Grab that, and I like the battered armor. I use that a lot, the armor skin. I think that gives a really good, like, lived-in look. I really, really like that one. The clean skin is nice, although I don't use it most places because I think it looks, I wouldn't say it looks too clean, but that's actually exactly why I like the plastic armor, because it just excuse me, it looks so clean. But the clean skin is like, it's almost like the uncanny valley of aesthetic, right? It looks clean, but it just doesn't fit. Whereas this, to me, when I see this, I'm like, oh yeah, this could be like like a laboratory thing. I don't know how to describe it, but it does work for me. Whereas the clean skin usually doesn't. I feel like it's too much. It's sort of like the seamless armor skin that they came out with recently. I freaking hate that. I think it was a terrible idea because it makes everything look absolutely awful. Well, the thing you put it on, I think it looks, well, it makes it look like it's in a video game, which granted it is, but it just, I don't know, it just looks bad. I've never seen anyone use it and it look, I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. So anyway, there's that. I think the dusty armor is all right, although I think there's not enough variation on the dust. So like if you have like the dust is always exactly the same around uh, all the little nooks and details on the block. What a part of it I think is the fact that if you look down there, that's the battered armor. And this is the plastic armor. There's no indication that these are individual blocks, whereas the default armor skin, which has the same texture as the clean armor skin, just without the nicks and dings, which is the same. Like a lot of the armor skins have the same kind of like base texture, and it makes it look like everything is made out of blocks, and I don't like that. I like here there's some detail, but it looks like it's one thing as opposed to, oh, look at my ship, I made out of virtual Lego. So yeah, I think that's what puts me off with most of the skins. But this plastic, man, this plastic just works for me. It looks good. Let's turn this back on. All right, one layer, mostly, somewhat. I have steel. You, no? Alright, this one. You. You. Yeah. I think I will go ahead and get these. Oh, and so that being said about the plastic armor, I actually don't like the plastic armor on the heavy blocks. And you can see I've used some up here. I think the plastic armor on the heavy blocks does not look good. It looks too, the detail has been drawn too heavy-handed. It doesn't, it doesn't have the same aesthetic. I don't think it looks as good. Oh, oops. All right, that finishes off that level. Sorry. No. So are these? No. Okay. Hmm. 40, 15, 40. Okay. I'm got a lot of metal grids. Yep. There it is. All right. Hmm. All right. Come on. Oh, right. There we go. Okay. Steel. Hundred and 16 grids left. All right, cool. That's good. Oh, here we go. He's fast. Okay. Oh man, excuse me. Oh, I'm not ready. Cool. Conveyor junction. Oh, oh. Okay. One of these. I don't think I'll need many of those. That's funny. There. That's probably good. What's going on here? Ah, it's a conveyor that's would not be connected to anything if I just put it there. Maybe I'll just build from the outside in on each level, on each row. Interior plate. And interior plate. This is. Oh, that's not a cargo container. It's a battery. I'm so confused. That was the battery. That is also a battery. Yeah, it's a battery. What? What the hell? Come on. I have interior plate. Wait, what's the battery? Large industrial cargo container. No. The large cargo is there. Okay, it seems to be, even though that block is highlighted, I am standing in what will become the large cargo, and it's detecting the block I'm standing in instead of the block I'm looking at, even though the block I'm looking at is highlighted. All right, whatever. Whatever. Play your silly games. Let's go back. Cool. These thrusters, can I place them? Very cool.
Fuel low. Fuel critical.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, I'm inside the large cargo here. Oh, I should be able to build. Wait a minute, I should be able to build the. Oh, it's the same problem again. It's detecting the large cargo instead of. I guess that's the secret. I just have to say that and then it'll work. All right, and then the large cargo. There. Cool. Hmm. Okay. All right, this is looking good. Do we now have an entire row? All right, missing these pieces. Okay, well, technically not the same row. It's okay. Yeah, I think so. Do I want to do the turrets? I think I'm going to save those till the end. Oh, I haven't done this yet. Nope, wrong row. All right, let's come over here. That was fast. Let's see. Turret plate. Hmm. Is all I have is oh nothing. All I have is nothing. Sounds like the name of a good song. Either country or grunge. Yeah, I need. Let's do that. Yeah, we have a lot of thrusters. Let's get these sorted out first. 10 metal grids. Oh, okay. Yeah, I should be able to get all of them. Already out of steel. That's fine. $60. So it's 14. All right. 3, 2 is 5, 10, 14. Got this. Okay, good. And you guys already got them. Yep. All right. I don't. Oh, there were some gyros. Oh no, these are up. Well, it's conveyors, welders, hydrogen tanks. There's there's a cargo. There we go. Conveyor, junctions, armor. Okay. Yep, that's everything. Let's try this over here. I think this should just need lots of steel. Steel. There we go. Oh, these are heavy armor. Oh crap! I just had grids too. All right, I gotta come back to these. Also heavy armor. Also heavy armor. Okay. All these batteries. All right, whatever. Oh yeah, the nose has some heavy armor in it too. Yeah, I need to come back. Oh my god. Hate when I get the timing off and they're all at like 93%. I don't think this has, no, it doesn't, but no steel. Interior walls. I think I could have done a better job using interior wall on, for example, this row of blocks here. They are lighter than a light armor block. It's just it can be tricky when you're trying to design something, you know, and it slows you. I find it slows me down a lot when I'm trying to, you know, add and remove blocks to try and switch between interior and armor. I guess the thing to do is after you design it, a second pass where you convert things that don't need to be armor to interior blocks or vice versa. Um, I suppose it's the same principle with conveyors. I get really annoyed when I see ships that are built with entirely with conveyor junctions. I'm like, that's just so sloppy. Um, but I get it. It's the same idea, right? Like, you know, if I'm trying to build the conveyor network and I'm add and move blocks, and it's a pain in the ass to pick the right piece every time. Um, that is not an issue for me personally. For whatever reason, the way I build things is like uh, where the conveyor goes is kind of an integral part. In some cases, it's like the first thing. Like I'll figure out where the pieces that I need to go and how they're going to be connected, uh, and then build around that, and then kind of do like a second pass. Where I'm like, oh, this might need to change. You know, I can reroute the conveyor this way, which will, you know, make something less exposed or open up an area, or, you know, or like whatever. Like, but it's kind of like a a cyclical approach, I guess you could say, where, like, you know, I have the initial design and then I work on it, and then I decide, you know, I'm like, oh, you know, I don't have any cargo, any way to get to the cargo from the bridge. So, all right, what if I reroute this? Um, it just ends up being where all the conveyors I put down, there's generally a lot of consideration put into it, and I'm not kind of like, uh, kind of freestyling it, I guess. Sort of like when I build with armor, I'm like, oh, I think I'll kind of have a row here, and then maybe something out here, you know, and then, or what can I? No, I'll put the pieces in here, and okay, maybe I can wrap it around like this. So it's kind of a lot more free form, and let me just put stuff down, see what works, and then refine it. And I guess maybe the people who build with all conveyor junctions, maybe that's kind of how they're working. Um, but it's yeah. Regardless, when I see it, like I'm just like, I mean, that's fine. I do think, like, for me, for example, I'll build a lot of times with armor. Um, it's all light armor and it's all the blocks, right? To kind of start to get the basic shapes down. And then as I work with it, I might be like, okay, I kind of want this to slope, and then I might start, you know, swapping out blocks for slopes to see how it works, if it works, if there's problems, what I like. Um, and so maybe that's I don't know. I feel like with conveyors, if you're going to build with all junctions, you should sort of be doing the same thing, where it's like, okay, fine, build with all junctions, but at some point, as you're refining, or as you're kind of start to be comfortable that the conveyors are where I want them to be, then start swapping things out for, you know, tubes or you know, splits or whatnot. Um, it really, it just, I tell myself, like, now that people build different, and it's you know, it's it's just different. Um, but I can't help emotionally when I see it. My my visceral reaction is that it's just lazy and sloppy, which is, it's not fair. I realize that, but I can't help it. That is that is what goes through my head. That is the feeling that it evokes in me when I see that. And unfortunately, I've actually, I can't say I've got like lots of evidence to back it up or anything like that. What I can say is that I have on a small number of occasions, like I see a build like that, and then I will not that long afterwards be given a reason to be like, yeah, it is lazy. It was it was sloppy because look at these other mistakes they made, which is not fair. People can make mistakes. It's a fallacy. Oh, these things go. So I'm not. I can't help it. I try to, the best I can do is try and recognize when I'm thinking like this, and then uh, uh, consciously try to be like, hey, it's not necessarily true or whatever. Um, but it's hard. It's just this is how I'm built. I'm not excusing not excusing it, just understanding like where it comes from, which can be a step towards addressing or mitigating, these things I have here. In the case I'm thinking of, I was watching a guy streaming, and he found this ship, and he was like it was like a wreckage, and it was just like I really like the design, and I agree the design is really slick. It's got like the thruster arrangements. It's really nice. It's a really slick looking ship. Um, there were some design aspects that I did not like, but that's personal preference. So I won't mention those. What I noticed though was he was like, I'm gonna go take a look at the design in a creative game and kind of see, how it's built. So I know how to, because it was damaged. He's like, so I know kind of how to repair it. And he had a version of it that was all the armor was removed. So it was just like the conveyor network and all the internals, and it was all junctions, just nothing but junctions. I was like, oh my god, that's so sloppy, so lazy. Uh, and then I try and say, all right, that's not people build different, and ultimately does it really fucking matter? No, you know. But it's just it is how I think. I do think like is how I think. I'm like you should use what you need and use the right tool for the job. And anyway, it's bullshit. It's I don't know. But it is how it goes through my mind. So anyway, I'm trying, I'm trying to reconcile like my irrational opinions of this and be like, hey dude, chill out, it's a game, people having fun, blah blah blah, and and just look at the things that I liked about the design that he was looking at, and then not long that after he was working with the design, I think in the game, no, in the game, no, he was still in the creative, and he's like, I was trying to figure out why, this item, like things couldn't get to it. Like I think it was like a gun couldn't get ammo, and then there was like the med bay wasn't refilling hydrogen or something. And he was like, when I looked at it, like it's not hooked up to the conveyor. Like these items are connected to junction blocks, but those blocks are not connected to anything. And then I was just like, see, lazy, sloppy, terrible. Right? Uh, People make mistakes, but that was like my initial reaction. My visceral reaction was like, oh, that's just sloppy. And then to find not one but two uh, important items, right, that are not conveyed, I was just like sloppy. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying like this is a case. This is an example of a case where uh, my initial visceral reaction to seeing it was one way, and I was just in the process of trying to correct this sort of thinking. Uh, Several examples, or popped up or occurred or whatever, where I was, it supported my initial reaction. I was like, that's not helping. But anyway, yeah, I don't like it. but I don't like it. And unfortunately, because I don't like it for whatever reason, I could go into the reasons, but it's irrelevant. It really doesn't matter. I have my reasons, but they're my reasons. You know, they're not objective reasons. They are things that are important. They're values. They're my values, right? Um, my value system is like makes me do things a certain way, and when other people don't have those values, they don't do things the same way, you know, or whatever. So you know, so I'm trying to like acknowledge that and be like, not everyone's the same, like, and it's okay. And then that happens. I'm just like, oh, it's not helping. Oh, you know, oh my God. And that was it. Oh my God. Battle grids. I have not had an unknown signal in a long time. It probably broke again. Grids. Oh, I have metal grids. Oops. Up there. Yep. Yep. Oh yeah, those guys. This was a weak point. Like I had regular armor, light armor, all the way across there, both sides. And when I was testing it, I'd forgotten. I was going to test it against some enemies I had kind of out in the game, and I'd forgotten there was a nearby uh, ship with an artillery turret. And what I had planned on was I just changed the ownership of the ship that I was in to Space Pirates, and I was going to fly it out to where the enemies are, and let's do this, and, you know, see how it worked. But when I converted to Space Pirate, that the ship that had the artillery turret that was nearby that I had completely forgotten about, fired a single shot, and I happened to catch it right here. Came in from this angle, like so, boom, right in this row, and it broke the ship in half. Hit two light armors, the conveyor, and two light armor, and it took out the large cargo here, and I don't know what specifically caused it, but there was an explosion. Maybe it was the artillery shells exploding themselves. I don't know for sure because I wasn't looking directly at it when it happened. But effectively, there's a big boom. That went away. This entire row went away, and this entire row went away, like through and through. And the ship it was just split in two. And I was like, okay, probably put some heavy armor there. So, and the whole time I was thinking of this story that if you ever taken any sort of like a university level statistics class, or I don't know if there are high school statistics classes or not, and if there are, I don't know if it's mentioned in them. But I remember I had two different classes. This is over the not at the same time, but just over my life. There were two different times I had these statistics classes, and I remember in both of them they told a story. They showed this picture of an airplane, and it had these little dots all over it. It was like an old fashioned bomber from like World War II or something. And there's little dots all over like the wings and the tail and the body and all that. And they were like, this was there was a study done like in World War II of these bombers, American bombers that got shot, right? And when they land, this is where all the damage was, and you could see like on the wings, like on like the outer half of the wings and like the very inner part of the wings, like covered in dots, and then like in the center that was kind of like right above, I think maybe where the engine was, there's like no dots. And then like both wings were like that, and like the tail, like the fuselage, there were like lots of dots towards the back, and like lots of dots like in the front. And then but there were certain areas where like no dots at all, right? And so the guy was saying like we did a study, right? And initially like the military was like, okay, well this is where all the planes are getting hit, so that's where we should put armor, right? And then they had this guy who I guess was part of the team or whatever, and he's like, no, what you have here is called survivor's bias, survivorship bias, right? Um, what you are looking at is actually the damage of all the planes that survived, the ones that didn't come back, right? There are planes that didn't come back. Those are probably the ones that got hit in the areas where these didn't. So you need to armor the spots where there's no damage, which is such an interesting thing to learn. Like when you're just getting into statistics and all that, and to see how it works. It's so fascinating. Um, that was going through my head when I was armoring the spot, because it was like, oh yeah, all these other pieces are shot to hell. Um, but the place I probably need the armor is the part that's gone. Anyway, that's my story. I thought I had steel I needed to weld, but I don't know. All these are good. What are these? These are batteries and material. Okay. These guys. Oh, there we go. I thought there was armor or metal. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, come over here. These guys are all good. Okay. And then I guess there's also, yeah, down here. Cool. All right. Now that's. Oh, okay. Okay, still have steel. Doesn't need steel. Those don't. That one. That one. Pair projector. There's zero plate. Nothing there. Okay. I think that's everything that needs steel on this row. Engines. So here. Cool. Let's do these guys. 2, 3, 3. Well, okay, there's the hole there. Oh, ooh, it's a lot of motors. These things use 1,000, right? 1,100. That's it. Just need a ton of motors now. Actually, I should get the welders first. What you talking about? Can't withdraw. Okay, now. Weird. Oh. Okay. Still have 219 motors. I gotta put them. Let's see. You. Oh, you don't use motors. Okay. Oh, this. Yep. 25 more. Good. Good. Oh. Oh, shit. Oh, I have. Okay. Actually, let's see here. Don't need that anymore. Do need motors. So I can do that. Okay. So I'm really thinking that this is going to allow me to make pretty short work of those neighboring assert bases. I know the antenna is what lets them call in drones, so being able to take that out first, and then target the weapons. Uh, yeah, I'm really optimistic on this one. And for anti-aircraft weaponry, this actually has slightly more. It's got one more turret than the previous ship had. The previous one had four. This one's got five. So, and two of them are mounted on top of a tall mast, a heavily armored mast, um, which I figured would give them excellent uh, line of sight for most of the top half of the ship to help protect against those drones. I'm really optimistic. It does, it does handle a bit like a cow, but uh, it's not a fighter, so can't expect too much, I suppose. Okay, what else? I've used all the motors I need. Including you. Right at this point, I think I think I'll do some interior plate and construction component and tubes. Yeah, this should get a lot of what I need. Right, so interior plate, let's get, oh, all right, let's do 3 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those, and yeah, whatever's left. Okay. Bang, bang. Oh, what's the matter? Did you have a nice nap? Oh, you're so affectionate now. That's what she needed. She needed a nap. Alright, there's nothing else over here. That's nothing. What am I holding? Interior plate. Nope. Use that, use it. Nope. That's it. Oh, you. Oh, hello. Oh. Okay, so I still need just that and hydrogen fuel. No boy. Oh boy, somebody needs attention. Oh boy. Material plate. Good. It's not fun. Hi, sweetie. You being a nice kitty? Hello? Sure. Sure. Yeah, let's do some of those. Some of those. A bunch of those. Cool. Please. All right. Oh. Construction components and understood tubes. Oops. Work. Metal grids. Oh man. Use construction components. And there's a cargo back there that needs displays. This needs displays. It looks like construction component displays small grids run. These guys. Those. Probably. 200. How many? Oh, that was all. I can do this. That's cool. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, I need computers and maps. Okay. Computers and color slots. And computers. Structure components. Let's finish these. I think that's everything. Yep. Now I just need a ton of power cells. What? What? Tell me your woes. What ails you? What's going on? I know. It's tough, isn't it? We all have our challenges. Oh, queer. That's not it. There we go. Cool. So I'm gonna have to do one battery per trip. 10% extra. What's going on? Oh, I have a heating pad that I keep on the floor that she likes to sleep on, and it broke. I noticed yesterday it was not hot, despite the fact that it was turned on and the little lights were up. So I think she's a little unhappy about there's no heating pad there. We can get you a new one. Don't worry, sweetie. Cool. That step complete. Let's go ahead and get these four here. Oh, they will not use power cells. Only motors, construction. Those. I'm sure I need nowhere near that amount. Excellent. I'm very happy with this progress. Sweet. All right, so I've got, okay, I need to dump all that. Let's turn this back on. Let's get two of those, and three of those. Should be good. Oh, 30 of those for another one, another. Okay. Oh, I never finished this little. What is that mean? Damn it, these computers. All right. Cool. Hmm. see that one. I won't do these walls yet. I'm afraid they'll block me from welding up. Oh, well, they won't block this. Oops. Stop, stop. So, oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Cool. That's the next row. Oh, what's the matter? Cool. Getting a lot of lag. What the hell is doing, huh? I know my cat's not hungry. I fed her right before I started. That was 2 hours and 23 minutes ago. There's no way. And she had a big breakfast too. There's no way she's hungry. NPM. Oh. Hey. Hey, sweetie. What's the matter? What's the matter? You have other comfortable places to sleep until we can replace your heating pad. Man, I wish there was a device that would let you talk to animals. Specifically, dogs and cats. You can, when your pets want something, you can kind of figure it out, or actually, you don't have to figure it out. You can know, find out. It's very frustrating. Clearly, my pet, who I love very much, wants or needs something, and I have no idea what. I can just guess. All I can do is guess. It sucks. There's any more burgers. Small steel tubes anywhere that I need. Let's go. We got steel interior plate. Yep. Just steel to start with. Kind of wondering if these should be catwalk in there, so you can walk between these guys. It would be obviously only for repair, not during battle, when they would be on and likely to fry you. Alright, wait a minute, delay. Oh, is it the gyro? Oh, yeah, it was. Grids. Yep. Let's do construction components next. Under those, 20 of those. Can't remember what else I needed. Oh, computers. Lots of computers. Oh, it's 3 per. It's 4. Oh, metal grids. Whoa! I'm gonna do that. Need 15. But they needed a lot more than that. I mean, a lot less than that, but they needed 5. Grids. 5. Wait a second. At least 3 each. What about 8? Is the other one not? Oh, that's weird. What? Oh, what? Okay. I thought I. Oh. We got you guys. Yep. No grid, system admin. Cool. Trade station admin. Adding metal grids. I need bulletproof glass. Wires and tubes. Metal grids, glass, motors and tubes. Cool, all right. No grids, glass, motors, tubes. I need interior plate too. Steel, interior plate and steel. On the interior plate, steel, and metal grid. No, steel. Steel, interior plate, metal grid, more steel. Yep. working. Computers. Computers. Structured components. Scale. And metal grids. I have metal grid. Oh, jeez. Computers. Metal grid. Structured components. Right. And more steel. Good, 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 good. Yep. Good. Yep. Yep. Good, good, good. Yep. 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 Okay. Good. Good. Yep. Okay. You guys. Yep. Alright, great. Let's go over here. You're good. There you go. There you go. Okay, and back to that one. Cool. Okay, I need steel and metal grid. Wow. Okay. Huh. That's interesting. Oh. I get all these. computers. Okay. Right. Some of those, some of that. Oh, okay. Bunch of that, some of that. Actually, that and that. So we can get those windows up front. Cool. That one. Can get these. Still tubes. Still tubes. I think there was something else I missed on the outside. Oh, I guess that's it. Okay. Let's we need to build from the inside out on this thing. That one. That. Okay. So we can do a layer up here, I think. Okay, that's all I can do for there. I can do this. Actually, I can do this as well. And then I can still get down to get that there. Okay. Oh, that were. No steel. Okay. Let's keep going. Cool. All right, we'll leave that there. Continue. Okay. Girders and golden glass. Don't think anything needs that. All right, let's get grids. Let's just do all grids this run. So I need at least 2 more runs of metal grids. Alright. You don't need any steel. See. Good. Alright, I think at this point I need a steel run. Yeah. No steel. Right? No steel though. Yeah. Need a lot of steel. Oh, I need the metal grids for those. Oh man. That. Hmm. That. Some more metal grids and steel. Sixty should do it. It's just for those fuck me. It's just for those centerpieces. Oh, isn't that convenient? Where is my backpack? Well, yeah, that's the body. Here we go. Okay. As I was saying, it's just for these centerpieces that I need the grids for. I'm gonna know. It was a guess. Okay. Whoa. What's going on with this? Uh-oh. S. Probably this one. Steel plate. That's not what I need to look at. I need to look at iron. Wool. Oh man. Oh, I put myself in a pickle. Hmm. I thought I had a lot more resources, iron and whatnot than that. Ow. Yeah, that's that. Okay, I don't need these metal grids. Um, here. All right. So I need iron. I only have one miner for reasons that I'm sure are very complicated and have nothing to do with me. Also, I remembered just now, I had wanted to move this down to the bottom of the hill because this terrain is so mountainous. Um, bases are not spawning over there, so I don't need to defend that direction. I don't believe, except I guess against raider pods, but this would be more useful over here because um, if we look at frequencies, the frequency of raider pods coming down over there has been much less than the frequency of me running back to base with drones on my tail, needing needing protection. So I think I'm gonna park this down here somewhere. As a matter of fact, I think right about here is perfect. All right. And now I need to top off my hydrogen. And I think what I need to do, I think I need to go out and recover that miner on foot. And then as soon as and then just fly back here. Uh, yeah, like a bat out of hell. Ouch. Scrap. Oh, and I realized, so when I flew the miner out here, uh, initially, I diverted because I saw there was a, ouch. I saw there was a wreckage and I was like, oh, that's my ship that crashed. So I should go recover it. And not once while I was grinding down that giant large grid hydrogen engine did it click that my ship didn't have large grid giant hydrogen engines, and they didn't have any hydrogen engines. So whatever it was that I recovered from over here, uh, wasn't my ship. This is interesting. I don't recall this noticing a second hole. Oh, yeah, it looks like it's a third one. Interesting. It's huge. Oof. Oh, that's a big hole. Man, for all I know, this is where my ship crashed. I don't know. I'm sure wherever it crashed, it made a big hole. So that's why I keep thinking every big hole I find is where my ship crashed. All right, let's get out of here. Hmm. Here we are. All right. And it's currently full of salvage. Yeah. And I was looking for I was digging to the magnesium. I had not made it there yet. All right, let's get out of here. Before the drones attack. There we go. And we're going to be here anyway. See if I can make a little bit of nickel real quick. It seems like nobody's noticed me, so that's good. Oh, we're doing 600 out of 43. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's choose. This has got some steel on it too, so that's good. Okay. There we go. All right, where is home? Oh, to the right. Okay. Let's get ready to run for it. Oops. There we go. Run. Piece of cake. I hesitate to say it, but I've noticed it's been a very quiet game. I've been playing for 3 hours and 11 minutes. I've seen no raider pods, no spawns of aircraft. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's good, when you're trying to build something big. You don't necessarily want lots of things spawning, shooting things, but I'm wondering if did I just get lucky and have a very peaceful game, or is it broken? Is it broken? Oh, this is over here. Goes on. This. engine's on, and there we go. And the ship. It's not empty yet. Almost. When that goes green, I know it's empty. Inventory. Right, it's not going to because Izzy's won't. I'm pretty sure I have the connector set to not sort past where it's docked, so I gotta do this manually. There we go. Alright, what's in the cockpit can stay, that is fine. Yeah, now it's empty. Okay, cool. It only has 8 minutes of flight time left, so... Caca. The whole reason I got it is to go get more iron. Well, I did get some more steel. I'll do a little bit more construction. That's really all I needed. Cool. Awesome. What else do I need? Oops. What? Because you're out of steel. Oh no. Oh no. We got iron. Yep, sure are. Tell you what. Metal grids. Here. Nope. Metal grids. Let's bring this number down. to 3. Interior plate will bring down to 3. There's iron 6.6 kilometers away. What about this? Oh. It's gone. Oh, that was my pet. I had a robot raider pod down here, completely intact. It landed down here for some reason and then never took off. I don't know why. I guess it ran out of power and got cleaned up. Aw. Oh well. Guess I should have said. I guess I can't. Yeah. I kind of put off salvaging things sometimes, and I guess I can't really do that because unlike in the real world, if you don't get it immediately, it'll disappear. I guess from a certain perspective, that is like the real world. It's immaterial. Let's come over here and shut down everything. No. All right. Cool. That'll generate some resources. I forgot how useful it was to have a second miner. May need to build a second one, another one. You know what? There also hasn't been any inclement weather. This has been a really good day. Oh, I forgot. I could salvage that. Oh, I could salvage that. What's that? Huh. Do I want to do that? I do have a grinder ship. I think. Kind of lose track of what I've wrecked and what I haven't. This thing still exists. Ah, I thought I destroyed it. Well, that's cool. Awesome. Yeah, I assumed I'd wrecked it. At this point, I just assume I have no aircraft. Now the one thing I know I haven't wrecked, because I've really never flown it, is this little scout over here. Yeah, so he's fine. Oh man, I should make a memorial board for all the vehicles I've destroyed. Oh, man, I don't wait. I don't even have a grinder ship anymore. When did that get destroyed? Huh. Oh man. Wow, I really am running out of vehicles. Yeah, I don't have it. Oh man. Okay, so if I go and I do have a good grinder, hand grinder. Huh. Hmm. 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 Well, while I was taking inventory of the fleet, let's see. Let's see what we've got. Hmm. Turn that off. Okay. Oh, how much steel plate do I have? Oh, not bad. And I shouldn't need that many more steel grids. Um, Steel grids, the metal grids. Most of the metal grids that I needed have been placed. I need placed. I'll say that and immediately need some. But mostly the metal grids are for like the functional blocks that use them, such as gyros and thrusters, which have all been placed and built now. There are no more left on the design. Uh, and then also on armor, but all the armor blocks have actually been placed. So there's armor protecting the outside of the engines, the surrounding area of the two front turrets, the leading edge of the craft, plus, oh no, that's it. Okay. That, and then this weak area here on both sides. So that is almost it. I do have heavy armor here, and then this tower extends up. It's I think 3 more rows of these to protect that interior conveyor and give a sturdy mount for the two addition for the last two turrets that will be up there. So yeah, it should be good on metal grids. I shouldn't need a whole lot more, so that's good. I shouldn't have a bottleneck there. So mostly what I need is steel to finish off. Really just the top row here. A couple interior pieces in there. And then that's the column. Actually, yeah, this is mostly done. Now, unfortunately, the thing about ships like this that carry or that fire these missiles is um, once the ship is built, like most ships, once the ship is built, you just build ammo and take it off and blow it up and blow things up. And unfortunately, on this one, you then have to fill it full of supplies to build the cruise missiles. So even once it's done, I won't be able to use it immediately until I fill it with the components to build those cruise missiles. And since right now I am uh, facing a shortage of components, that means that more than likely, once this is built, I will still have to. I won't be able to launch it. I'll still have to deal with that shortage. What have? Yes. Oh wait. Let's see it. Oh, it's where? Okay. Oh, I need an interior plate to finish that. Okay. There. Oh, okay, I got it on this side. Yeah, timer. Okay. Finish that. But, okay, I can do that safely because down here it's just those items. Now I'll be able to get those from inside here. That's fine. This rotor is not complete, so I won't be able to build over the top of that yet. Oh, and what am I saying? I have two large atmospheric thrusters I need to build. Those use, oh, those only use 40 each. So yeah, so I'm fine on metal grids. Here. Hmm. Okay. Anything out here? I can. There's nothing. Anything else? Oh, these guys. Okay. In here. Okay, these all require interior plate. All right, and yeah, they hunt. Okay. Although if I build them, I can then stand on them and build the stuff above them. So that is actually okay. Not that I'm holding interior plate anyway. Prevent. Interior plate. Construction component. That worked out very well. All right, I've got, yep. Oh, the engine nacelles have heavy armor on them too. Not a lot, but not trivial either. All right, that's fine. I still think the 3,000 or whatever the quota I set, I still think that'll be adequate. What? I forget what it was. I'm gonna put in the build planner. Anyway, let's go. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, oh. Well, that was spooky. That's the door timer. Oh man, that was spooky. All right, I have the 2 reactors. Let's get that one. No, batteries. Probably. Okay. And then the grids. Hmm. Motors, huh? I wonder if that's due to the iron or shortage. I wouldn't think it would be nickel. Especially since I just bought a little bit back too. No idea how much, but I did bring some back. Production is stalled again. Motors. 1,300 motors. Not sure what the problem is then. Hmm. Good. Right. I need interior plate. Up here, steel metal grids. So I'll get what I need here. Fill out the rest. Steel interior plate metal grids. 100, 100, 100. Infrastructure. 100. That's possible too. Alright, more steel. Alright, come on. Ow. Come on in. There we go. Come on. And that's it.